Hello, hello. Testing, testing. 1, 2.
Are we live?
Well, we should be, Bren.
We are live? Okay, hello, welcome.
Depends on whether the sound is going out this time.
I don't know, is it going on? Is it quiet? Who knows? I'm going to do the intro as normal anyway. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to ETF2L Season 24, week number 1 of Happy Farmers versus the nameless boys. Going to be having a hell of a game on our hands. My name is Bren and I'm joined today by the one and only Sideshow. How are you once again, Sideshow?
I am very well, as I was before when you asked me about a minute ago. But as I was elucidating on just then, Happy Farmers versus Nameless, it's two of the better teams that are, we think are going to be two of the better teams at the beginning of this season. Happy Farmers' performance in the most recent DreamHack Summer Qualifier was excellent. They ended up going up against Nameless in the end, had an excellent map on Badlands that was just fantastic to watch. I believe we were both casting that actually, weren't we? So,
yeah.
But previous to that, they had been absolutely slaughtered on Snakewater. So, pretty interesting maps to start us off on this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Looking back, it seems like Nameless, they were having a bit of a hiccup with their main caller Kado leaving the roster earlier on in the year, but they got spud in. They've had a few scrims now, and I believe they've worked out the kinks. I'm not too sure. Given looking at recent results on the logs and stuff, it does seem that they've sorted most of it. I don't know if you had anything to chime in on that.
Yeah, I mean, they're certainly playing at a lower level, I think, than they were at the end of last season, but by the time the season gets underway, they should be fairly decent. It's a little bit unlucky for them, perhaps, that they'd be facing Happy Farmers on Badlands in the first map of the season when they're still kind of getting their stuff together, because Happy Farmers, when they played against them in the DreamHack Summer Qualifier, took them to an incredibly close game. I think it went to Golden Cap, didn't it? Or was it just incredibly close in regular time?
Are we talking about the third DreamHack qualifiers?
Yes, yeah.
I wasn't casting that.
Right. There we go. But I don't know what's going on anymore. But they had an incredibly close game on Badlands anyway, and Shocky and Bash were running rampant all over them. So it'll be certainly interesting to see how that one goes down. And I expect the same kind of style from both of these teams. Nameless are going to be attempting to fill the chasm left by Cadis's departure and just playing the same kind of regimented style as they were before. I believe they even considered switching Stark over to Pocket Scout for a while just so that he could contribute with the calls, but they decided not to after Happy Cool choked every time he had to go for a play. But and Happy Farmer's going to be playing with Abrego, the powerhouse, just trying to make plays for them all the time, and both of their scouts working on that. Oh, interesting to note, though, Bren, is that the Happy Farmers soldiers have recently changed their roles around, so Damizi will now be pocketing with Relior on Roma.
Oh, that's interesting, actually, because I don't know, for better or for worse. What's your opinion?
I'm not really sure. I have never seen Damizi play Pocket in a team, and I have really no information on how Relior is going to play. So there must have been a reason why they chose that switch around. The opposite way around was working relatively well for them. So I'm not really sure. We'll certainly get a showcase of how it's working. Maybe they'll decide to instantly switch back, a la Public Layer, etc.
Absolutely. One man I am looking forward to, and you mentioned him before, Brago, is the guy that I'm very much looking forward to this game. I'm hoping to see some absolutely disgusting pills so I can really anger my flatmates as they are watching TV next door. So we'll see how it goes. If I get cut off mid-cast, you know where I've gone. I've probably been like throttled to death, but yeah.
Who knows? We hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Both of the teams are on the server at the moment, so we look like we're going to be going live fairly shortly. This is the first game of Season 24 Premiership Division. And it's a good game to set the pace of the season as well, because if Happy Farmers get any points here, really, then they'll set themselves up for a pretty high finish. There's not going to be many teams that are going to be aiming to really get points or get maps from Nameless. They went through the previous season fairly unscathed. They dropped a point to Public Layer, and then just went into the finals as the first seed. So if Happy Farmers can pull out an upset result at the beginning of the season here when they're at their most vulnerable, it will be huge for them.
Absolutely, yeah. Speaking of these top teams that don't expect to get points against nameless, I suppose we could talk about some of these teams in Prem just before the game starts. I'd imagine it will be starting fairly shortly, by the way, guys. As Sideshow did mention, there are 6 on each side, and we are just waiting for them to ready up, and then we can get this underway. But obviously, there's your team that you're going to be coaching, Perilous, later on in the season. You're playing for them right now, aren't you? Nameless, who are playing in this, Happy Farmers. Are there any other teams that you're expecting that might steal the spotlight later on? Or
Publicly, I think, look fairly decent. It all depends how their team play comes together, but they've recently made some different roster moves, and they've kind of changed up the style that they play, and I'm hoping for big things from Public Clear. But we've gone live with our first map. This is Badlands. The second map is going to be Snakewater, and this is our first game of ETF2L Season 24 Premiership Division, and it's nameless versus Happy Farmers, Bren.
And it's going to be a good one already. Looking at Spud getting those stickies down, trying to pre-fire those corners. Shocky takes absolutely tons of damage, being forced all the way back already. Brago trying to play passive from that window position. Raylo with a big bomb forward actually picks up a frag onto Starkey. He's the first to fall. Drac in that house area has picked up the pack. Captain finish up Brago. Brago actually dies to Spud as well, so this mid-fight is looking pretty good for Nameless right now, as they've already picked up a 3k. Damn easy going onto Captain once again. They're going to try and back out of that valley area, but ultimately, look at how he goes. Look how deep he's going. Balls deep right into Shocky. It is going to be fended off, however, but look at this push now, Sideshow, as they're coming all the way into second already.
Very nice coordination from them on the mid-fight. Drac went into house behind them, completely cut them off. They were wary of that flank going in, and Spud was doing an excellent job holding them out at shit house as well. Just 1v3, just keeping them locked in that tiny space. Got the pick on Brago as well, so a great mid-fight there to start them off from Nameless. Not looking too shaky at all. But Thune did escape with his Uber charge because they were playing fairly passive in that valley area, so just testing them out perhaps on this first mid-fight, and it's going to be Uber for Uber.
Look how deep Stark is! Okay, yeah, a little bit of a sack there for information, but they are going to know, obviously, that they're running the heavy class, and as you did mention, very important, they've got that Uber charge. Fun did get out of his life, they can defend last if they want to, and yeah, very passive positioning by Nameless as they're slowly but surely just working their way into that lobby area.
Shocky's gone spy to check whether Stark's running an off class, it seems, and he will get the information that Stark's running Sniper, probably, if he does it correctly. And so Stark now moving forwards is...
looking at it.
Oh, and so Shocky's actually...
Yeah, he's maybe
all the way
going
deep
for a play.
well.
What's going on here? He's just waiting. This is, I don't know, is a Sniper pick it's not really the pick they want, is it?
No, not at all. I think Shocky has to have bigger fish on his mind. But he's entranced by the back of Stark. He's looking at it like a hypnotic snake, and he may go for it as the heels come down the stairs there. I think he was hoping that Spud or possibly even Perm would extend down into main, but he really just needs to get himself around back.
This is so desperate now. I mean, he's uncloaked, he's ready and waiting, like a praying mantis waiting for his next meal.
And Nameless, they're not wary of it whatsoever. Nobody's looking behind, nobody's spy checking it. Seems like they haven't really thought about it, because Shocky almost instantly switched over to spy as soon as that counter-attack came in. He's seen Spud. Did Spud see him? No, I don't think so.
Don't think so, no.
But he had an opportunity there to go for Spud, but didn't take it, so perhaps he's just after the mammoth fish, the barracuda of Permzilla. But in which case, if this was me, I'd be rotating back into upper lobby, because... you know, he's essentially waiting for the perfect timing as they come in through main, and if he misses it, they'll have already used the Uber, so...
yeah,
this is
I don't agree
strange
with
stuff from Shocky. He's just waiting for that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Oh, he's actually chosen to go for Spud now! Hits him with a ridiculous face stab! Spud was already like 180 degrees away from him on my screen, but with that demo down, Nameless are going to be backing all the way out there, and they do have start to defend Spire now.
Yeah, absolutely. Now pushing all the way in, very deep into this lobby area. They are going to take as much territory as they possibly can. Shocky's just going to peek that balcony area, going to get some information for his team, much needed. But really now, I can understand where both these teams are coming from. Neither want to make a mistake that the other side can play off. It's absolutely crucial, especially when you're playing at this caliber of TF2 is as high, almost as high as you can get. Probably questionable and a controversial opinion that some players would disagree with me, Banny, but yeah, but at this level of TF2, one mistake can literally cost you a round, and rounds translate into momentum, you know, obviously into games. So, you know, I don't blame them at all.
Interesting, you saw a forward lobby hold there from Happy Farmers. The thing that they do differently from everybody else is that they play Brago in main, just locking off that door, which leaves the trash door slightly more open, but means that that double sack through main might actually catch Brago as well. So it's a risky forward hold that Happy Farmers do, and very susceptible to being easily broken with that double scout push through main. But they know that Stark's on sniper anyway, and Stark's going for some ballsy plays here. He knows that he has to try and open it up.
Shockey's watching that
Look,
main
he's all the
area.
way in
Look
on the
at
right.
how deep he is! Oh my god, he almost got the kill as well onto Shockey.
It was so strange though to go for the sniper. Why would he go for the sniper? Because he's definitely dead when he takes that shot. So I think maybe the sniper just got in the way of somebody else more juicy that he was going for.
Second scoping noob.
Here
we go, Uber being popped, yeah. Exchange, much better Uber coming out by Happy Farmers. We'll see what they can do over there. Force them all the way out with Bash on heavy. But ultimately, no frags being exchanged at all. I mean, nameLess are taking this with so much proportion. Honestly, it's absolutely amazing that they're giving so much respect to Happy Farmers right now. But as we mentioned before, they definitely deserve it because they're an absolute powerhouse, or they can be on this map. And really... This is an attempt, the backup already coming out. Starkey and Happy Cool onto the point. They get completely demolished instantly. 3 down. Spud falls as well. Drak's going to try and make something happen. He's really just trying to spam them out. Shockey falling to an absolute sliver of HP. Drak is going to have to back out. Look at how much cap time there is, though. They need to play this carefully. Captain, absolutely no health at all. Is he going to escape with his life? He's still got a skill to count. Oh my goodness, damn easy finally finished him off.
Firing arrows from main, and damn easy has to dodge and eventually leave the point. Yeah, so that was an interesting play. When they lost Stark, I think, they sent Spud back to switch to the Quickie Bomb launcher. Both of the scouts got onto the point, but it was really well read, actually, from everybody on Happy Farmers. They dropped a scout and a soldier down to it, wiped both of those scouts, and there was no quick follow-up. It seemed like nameLess wanted to play that one a little bit too safe. They thought, oh, we'll just throw both scouts in it, we can still hold, even if we draw both of our scouts from that. But they got so much cap time that just a little bit of help would almost definitely have secured the round.
Crucial. Damn easy falling there. And yeah, they're going to play off it straight away. Uber going to be popped in. They know they don't have it. Here we go. They need to get some frags. Vaccinator being ran actually on the side of Happy Farmers. Bash doing his darndest to keep them off the point, but they're getting absolutely crushed. And here we go. It's all about the positioning now in this engagement. Shockey on 2 HP, just trying to hold on to that point. Fun on an absolute sliver as well. Finally, a beautiful punt from Brago. Picks up Captain in the end, but the fight is still kicking off. Spud getting off that spam. He's going to be trying to stick it off the point, and they played it to perfection. Completely capped it up. Wonderful positioning by nameLess there.
That was still an incredibly close thing, though, given that they had Uber versus a Vaccinator going in there. I feel like they completely beefed the beginning of that push by not being able to play the point properly. I don't know, they squeaked that one out there at the end as well. It was almost an excellent hold from Happy Farmers, but nonetheless, after 7 minutes, we have got the first round on the board for nameLess.
And it's kicking off straight away. Look at Rayla. Big bomb forward. Going to be getting off that early damage. Creating some pressure and creating some room to breathe. Already, they're being forced all the way back into this valley area, but they've fallen so weak. Happy Farmers, they finally pick up Drak. Captain's going to pick up Rayla in the end as well, so it's a 1-for-1 trade. But nameLess, they're looking like they've got the superior positioning right now in this fight. Holding that train area, getting the cap time. And they're just happy to take this slowly, Happy Farmers, they want nothing to do with this. They're backing all the way out of Valley already. A lot of spam going to be coming out from Spud. Look at Shockey now, on the back lines. Not going to happen. Unfortunately, Starkey just completely shuts him down. But here we go, they're just going to fight them straight away and choke. Damn easy picks up Captain. Uber going to be coming out now for Happy Farmers. Perm just milking it like an absolute pro. And here we are. Trying to make this play, here we go. Oh, this is going to be absolutely brilliant now if they can make something happen. Already 2 picks. Spud picks up Brago as well. So deep already. Going to be trying to get off those pills. Bash falls to half health. Fun actually falls to a lovely pipe by Spud. Starkey is, absolutely incredible by nameLess in general.
Shockey's going to try and make a play. He's been caught by Drak, though. Drak just playing so passively in this flank area like he always does, and that's an excellent pick onto Shockey, who was attempting to rescue this push for his team. All the rest of these players have got to fall back. Bash almost caught in a lobby. He's going to be retreating back to last, and we're going to have an Uber advantage push here once again from nameLess into last. The defense has been fairly decent here from Happy Farmers, though, and Thune has decided to run the Medigun this time instead of Vaccinator. It's only about a 30% advantage. They've actually built it up to more like 40% now, so they know it's coming. They haven't got a heavy this time. They're just opting for the Pyro.
Yeah, probably the sound off class to have. If they can get off a decent denial, this could be salvageable. Actually, are they even running Pyro? No, Bash is still on heavy. So here we go. Uber going to be popped in straight away. Happy Cool so far forward, just running the members of Happy Farmers down. Point being played. Finally, one of the stickies are deaded. And here we go. Brago actually picking up a 2k there. Gets a Captain as well. nameLess really coming out with the better ones in this fight, however. If they just pick them up clean them to pieces. And that is a cap, 2-0 to nameLess. Absolutely incredible stuff.
Drac got a 3k there. He killed Relior, Shocky, and Brago as they pushed into last, just playing on that right-hand side and mincing people. I think he got the other 2 frags as they were trying to play aggressively somewhere, and then just comes in at the end. And even though Brago was doing his darndest to try and block the point, nothing they could do at that point. 10 minutes, 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely. Really impressive stuff by nameLess so far. I didn't think it was going to be this one-sided, so to speak, but they've been winning these mid-fights quite handedly, and already looking at Spud, trying to get off that early damage. Big bomb forward by Rayla. Is he going to get off any damage? Gets off 1 rocket onto Perm, but it's not enough. Happy finishes him off in the end. Shocky also picking up Spud, so that's no demo man now. Big bomb forward by Drac. Actually picks up Fun on the back lines, and that's no heals. nameLess, if they play this correctly, this is going to be absolutely beautiful. Damn easy finished up as well by Starkey. Bash is going to try and escape with his life. Brago also in that choke area, just spamming him out with his pills. Drac with a big bomb forward. Is he going to pick him up? 1 rocket, 2 rocket, 3 rocket. Finishes him up straight away. Shocky also falling to Stark there. So, honestly, nameLess are just playing these mid-fights so well.
Yeah, that was also a badly played mid-fight from the rest of Happy Farmers. As soon as Relior bombed in, they had an opportunity where he'd made so much room that they could have just swarmed over the point. But they waited. It was a delay of only around 3 seconds, but it just allowed Drac to come in behind and allowed the rest of nameLess to consolidate on their side of the mid and make sure that they had the heals that they needed to push across the point. But Happy Farmers definitely had an opportunity to lock that one up because the bomb from Relior was very good and they managed to get a lot of room from it, just not fast enough across the point. And once again now, 100% plays 40% on the last point. And they're still running that normal medigun. They haven't gone as the last-ditch effort to vaccinate it. They also have no off classes as well, so I don't agree with this one. Brago's going to get caught. He wasn't even playing in a passive position. They've got Damizi on top, who's going to attempt to drop down to the point, but it's not going to be enough. And that last defense, it was almost as if they had forgotten that they were facing against an Uber. That was almost an equal Ubers kind of last defense, but that's not going to hold out nameLess with an Uber charge.
Honestly, yeah, they just completely, well, no stickies for 1 on the point because they had those forward stickies. They were trying to catch out them as they were pushing in with the Uber. A bit of a cutesy attempt by them, but this is, of course, going to be the 4th mid-fight of the game now. nameLess taking it in the lead, 3-0 already, and Happy Farmers, they really need to swap something up if they want to try and take one of these mid-fights already. Looking at Drac, tries to get the bomb forward, not really going to be doing much. Space created now by Happy Farmers as they're slowly but surely edging their way across the point, taking a lot of spam actually. Captain gets off some lovely rockets onto Relior, not going to do much else. Drac also creating a lot of space for his teams. Everyone is weak really on the side of Happy Farmers. They're falling so low. Damizi's going to have to back out. But here we go. Relior. Go. Oh my god. Captain actually finishes him up in the end. I thought he was a goner. No, he picks him up. This fight is still kicking off already. Happy Cool actually picking up Bash as well. But ultimately, looking at this mid fight, I think Happy Farmers are going to be happy with that one.
They are indeed. They're going to be able to take this one forwards, and although Permzilla got out playing very passively in Valley with Spud not able to follow up on much of the damage or position that was got by the rest of his team, mainly Stark, that has managed to secure them the Uber charge, and they're going to be able to push across and reclaim choke. This is quite passive play here from Happy Farmers. Instead of taking an Uber fight further down and making sure that they can get in through choke point, through the choke point, they're just backing off, just content to hold their own train. They've got more than half the map left and they're only 3-0 down, so as long as they start turning things around fairly soon, they can still get back into this game. It's not unheard of for teams to come back from a 3-0 deficit. That's perfectly reasonable, but they need to make something happen with this one because they have won one of their first mid-fights.
Here we go, yeah. Big attempts coming in already. Relior going to be trying to get those rockets off. Actually gets off 1 beautiful rocket onto Perm. Not going to be enough to bring him down, unfortunately. He escapes with 65 health remaining. There's a nice little sack attempt at him, and that might prompt the passive, even more passive holds by Happy Farmers here.
Stark has got in unseen. Nobody's even seen him as he comes up now behind Slope, and he's just going to start peppering Thune with shots, but unfortunately just dodge off the side, and is now going to get 2v1, but no! Comes out with a frag on Bash, and somebody else is going to have to go and deal with that. At the same time, they could have sent in a sack of somebody else, and they would have almost definitely got the Uber charge out of Thune, but just playing that one super safe. They only want to send in 1 person at a time here, nameLess. Don't want to put any kind of risk into it.
I'm shocked that Stark got out of that with a frag. He got called out so early and beefed a few of his shots, just peppering them. They knew he was there for so long, but yeah, ultimately that just shows the DM level on that guy. And we're in this this standard position now. It's still 3-0 to the side of nameLess, holding Uber advantage on either side as well, and they're just really waiting for 1 slip up, 1 mistake to push in. It looks like they are getting a little bit aggressive in that resupply area, Sideshow, as they're pushing all the way in. Drax in the balcony area, and he has spotted them, and actually he gets off 1 rock onto them. Can he get any more? No, they're just going to back all the way off, yeah. That could have been a misplay, just waiting to happen there.
Stark plays super aggressive on Brego, who's the only man holding choke, gets him down to 7 health before the rest of his team get in there. And we'll just see a bit of a reset, both teams with the Uber. They went for a push there into reset, but they weren't counting on the fact that Drak is holding super passive there, just in the drop-down area. So he's the only player holding reset. It's going to be super easy for them to get control of reset, but very difficult for them to get players behind. What they might do is try the exact same thing and just lock Drak out with a few stickies and push somebody behind through main. And if they want to try another reset push, but for now both teams just edging each other out. They look like they're going reset once again, maybe hoping that Drak has inched forward. Drak once again straight down into drop down. Shocky looked like he wanted to go main instead. Damizi up through drop down, and they're going to try and take this one with a 2v1. Bash and Damizi gone back for him, but chasing all the way to last. And they know that they have 2 players behind here, nameLess and Bash, started the back cap. How are they going to deal with this one?
Yeah, they're being split up onto 2 fronts, really. Stark falling to absolute slivers of HP. He's going to get healed up. A lot of pressure coming out and choke. And actually, Spud's the one to pick up the frag. Fun actually dropped him there with the Uber. Finally coming out. Damn easy is the one to receive the most of it. But look at this Uber coming out by nameLess. It's so much better. It almost hurts to look at. Damn Easy's going to try and escape with his life. Fun actually falls to Drak there. Happy Cool finishing up Damn Easy in the end. And yeah, ultimately, nameLess just completely punishing them for that.
And if Thune hadn't dropped both of those players coming in through the choke point, then they would have probably had a better Uber trade out of that one, because they had 2 players behind ready to collapse as well. They could have done so much damage around the choke, but instead Thune drops Brego and then drops Shocky as well. And that's just catastrophic for Happy Farmers. They have to go all the way back to last from that one.
Look at Shocky now. Look at his off class. He's going to be playing a spy. He knows that they need this medic pick now if they want to make something happen. Looks like Perm is going to be climbing that spy area, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for him to try and get that coveted backstab and potentially save this round for his team. He's going to be...
he's been spotted.
In front of Drak. Misplay. Shocky.
And that leaves them 1 down as well, as Permzilla just gets up on his Uber, and they're going to want to be going quickly with this. Happy Cool and Captain in through the top left. Bash not in a forward position at all and completely wasted on that Pyro. They're just going to be able to play the point here. Damizi should go down, and that's another quick cap. And although we saw 2 really nice defenses from Happy Farmers at the beginning of the game, it's almost as if they've given up with the last point at this stage in the map. They're just throwing away these defenses with some bad off-class play.
Honestly, I did not expect it to go to this much of a round deficit on the side of Happy Farmers, but here we are. This is going to be the 5th mid fight. It is 4-0 to the side of the nameless guys, and this is it. The mid fight's kicking off. Stark with the aggression all the way onto Shocky, already on that train area. Actually, Shocky kind of getting a better for it, but Drak, I should say, jumps all the way and completely destroys him with the help of Captain as well. Relia's going to fall. Happy Farmers not looking too happy right now, as Bash has taken a lot of damage, already on half health. He's going to be getting bombed straight away. Starkey the one to finish him up in the end, and this is looking incredibly bad for Happy Farmers. They're being completely spammed out of this house area. Damn Easy going to be doing his darndest to keep them out. Shocky and Relia, actually they're in the wrong side of the map as well. They're in the wrong side of the map. Uber going to be popped out now. Shocky and Relia have only just respawned. They need to get this force now if they want to make something happen. Drak actually, they're just completely playing them like a fiddle. Honestly, completely kiting them all around the map.
Unfortunate. I mean, when you're stuck on that side of the map and it's just you 2 against the world and you don't even have the Uber advantage, it's better just to go in and try and make a play and die rather than try and hold on to your Uber. Your Uber's never going to get any value out as well as getting you out when you're stuck on the other side, and this could be 5-0 right here. They're coming in from the top left. Captain and Spud leading it forwards, going to attempt to pick off players. Brego falls immediately, and that's it. That's the game. Because Happy Cool is just going to fall onto the point here, and they're just going to start cleaning things up.
I believe in
Drak
Bash.
In from top.
I believe. Okay, never mind.
And there's the 5-0. And that's so unfortunate, because they just made some critical errors, but you can see how quick nameLess were to capitalize on the mistakes as soon as they were presented to them. There was no hint of nameLess hesitating at any point here. Well, as soon as they saw an opportunity presented, they jumped on it.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of the Nerd Rage we saw, or the nameless we saw last season, I should say. Honestly, I'm absolutely shocked that it was that much of a difference. 5-0 between those 2 teams. Absolutely ridiculous stuff. But we can take a look at these logs now as well. And that's, I mean, you know what these logs are going to be selling, but maybe we can look a little bit deeper into what potentially went wrong with these 2 teams, with Happy Farmers.
Well, the first thing that stands out to me is just what an appalling game that Bash had, because although he seemed like he was playing on the flank, sometimes he was just getting mashed, it seems.
Yeah.
He went 3 for 8 with 139 DPM, and that's really not a top prem performance from a scout of his previous caliber. So Shockey attempting to carry it through, but I mean he went 4 for 12 as well. So it's an appalling display from both of their scouts, frankly. And they absolutely need those two players to perform if they want to be able to take this one forward. So they were getting shut down by the soldiers, I believe. If we look at the kills at the bottom and see who was getting most of the frags. Drak got 4 frags on both of the scouts. Stark was ripping them apart with 5 frags on the scouts, and they were tearing into Shockey and Bash. And those are the 2 key players that you want to keep alive at the end of the fight, or be making plays along with Brago. And the backbone for the team was non-existent this game.
Well, yeah, looking at these team stats as well, pretty much every mid-fight won apart from that one we did see on the 4th round, but even then it didn't really amount to anything, as they, as we mentioned before, nameLess just completely capitalising off every mistake that Happy Farmers made to honestly just a level that you know, we're not unfamiliar with Nerd Rage or nameLess, I should say, but I didn't think it was going to be this one-sided, not one bit. We can take a look as well. We can split up the map by frags, server error in application. What's going on here? I don't know. Does this work? That doesn't work either. Okay, I don't think we can look at that. I don't know. Was it working for anybody else?
We got some. Yeah, I've got some interesting server error, but apparently Suyooo says it's fine on stream. So there we go, Bren.
It's fine on. Okay, well we can't look at it, but I'm going to assume that it's going to be telling the exact same story that we were talking about, where majority of the frags happening on their last, on Happy Farmer's last in the midpoint, to the side of the. It is working, they say, but we can't see it. So there you go. But yeah, honestly, there's not really much else to talk about with these kind of logs with a game like this.
Yeah, it was destruction on the mid-fights as well. I mean, if you take a look at the mid-fights one, it's blatantly obvious that Happy Farmers were on the back foot right from the beginning. 4 out of 5 of the mids just were... they were won by nameLess, but they weren't just won, they were absolutely crushing them. They were catching Thune out in a lot of these situations. I think he escaped from 2 out of 4 of the mid-fights, and as soon as your medic goes down and you've completely wiped essentially on the mid-fight, it's Uber v non-Uber on last, and it's so easy. The first round was the only one that really took any length of time, and that one was just nameLess attempting to find a nice avenue to eventually close out the round. It wasn't like it was back and forth. So something definitely lacking here for the side of Happy Farmers. They weren't really able to secure many frags in any of the team fights. So there were some blatant issues. And I think it's going to be very easy for them to think, okay, well, when we had our soldiers the other way around, we did fairly well against nameLess, and now that we've switched our soldiers this way around, it hasn't worked even slightly. But I think it ran a lot deeper than that, because it wasn't just that Relio was bombing forwards and unsupported at times, and Demizu wasn't able to follow up, or was playing a little too passively compared to how they were before, but the scouts in the demo were completely separated in a lot of these situations, and the way that they were dealing with the flanks from nameLess was a car crash at times, especially with the defense as well on last. It was like they didn't have a game plan whatsoever. So a very strange performance from Happy Farmers. I think more a misplay by them, an underperformance from Happy Farmers rather than an overperformance and a crushing victory by nameLess.
Yeah. And now jumping into the second map. Now it's going to be Snakewater, of course. After a crushing defeat like that, 5-0, it can be hard to get your head back in the game. Focus on what's important. You want to at least take this round, or take this game, this map ideally, to potentially score some points. But I mean, you can't be feeling too hot after that crushing defeat.
If they were going to take any points from nameLess here, I thought it was going to be on Badlands. I thought they might be able to eke out a golden cap out of that and maybe steal a round with a really close game, but their mid-fights and last defenses were not even slightly in it. And those are 2 areas that you can pretty easily improve. I mean, it's not like they are particularly different day to day. It's not like you have to work on your teamwork effectively. You can't just have set pushes or set strats for your last defense and your mid. So I don't know what was going on there. They may be in full tilt as well as they come into this second map. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how they cope. They got obliterated, as far as I'm aware, against Publiclear, I think it was, on Snakewater. Before that is Happy Farmers. So I don't think it's a map that they're particularly as comfortable with as Badlands, and nameLess I think, are incredibly comfortable on Squatter. They love playing this map. They play it incredibly slowly and like well disciplined. They'll just take one area at a time, just perfectly content to hold between second and mid, and just keep working plays, keep working picks. But given that they've just 5-0'd them, you might just see them play a little more loosely as well, and just try and take this one forwards, believing the fact that they've got better coordination in the team fights, which they obviously do.
Yeah, really, something needs to change on these mids, or even in the game in general if Happy Farmers want to take it. But here we are, the countdown has begun. And the rollouts are going to begin. It is, of course, map 2. Excuse the revving car in the background, but I don't know if you even heard that. But here we go, yeah. Map 2, Snakewater, the first round, the first mid, hopefully, of many. And Happy Farmers Brago going to be pre-firing that saw area, getting off a lovely sticky onto Spud, actually. A bit of pre-fire damage there. Drax getting forced back by a little bit of spam. Actually, one more sticky onto him as well. And here we go, this double jump forward. Damn easy, trying to get that pressure already. Relia, in he goes, trying to make something happen, gets completely shut down. And looking at this now, nameLess completely cleaning up.
Oh, what a fight from Brago. That was a nice one to take down Drac, and thankfully somebody went forwards, one of their soldiers, I think it was Relior just at the end there, and managed to pick up Permzilla. So they do have this one, and it's a crit streak. It's been popped out on Brago, but they're going to take him down super quickly. Brago's taken 2 already though, and now he's in a 1v1. It's only him against Stark. He can hit a few pipes on him. He was doing it previously, but I can't quite manage it this time. Stark's going to pick up that frag. They just got bottled into a corner there. I feel like they had the crits for a while. They should have probably popped it off a little sooner.
But, yeah, but look at this. Either way, look at this retake now. Already just slamming them deep. Perm is on. Well, he's building quite quickly on that midpoint. Going to be getting that Uber up, but definitely could have been worse. Definitely could have been worse for Happy Farmers.
Yeah, it definitely could have done. But Permzilla's got an Uber advantage now. They're going to have to hold on to second. And it looks like nameLess are going for a non-Uber push, just trying to muscle their way in on the left-hand side. Dempsey's having non-Uber jump Captain already, but whiffs a few rockets. Hasn't really done much damage to the nameLess pocket.
Here we go. Look at Captain health. Already bombing in. Actually gets crated as well. Bash going to be picking him up. Brago falling, however, as you mentioned, at the same time. And now nameLess, they might look to repush this. They've got no demo man. That's going to be a lack of damage on the side of Happy Farmers. And already, look at this. Uber going to be popped in. Can they get any frags at all? But they're kiting already. They do pick up Shocky. Bash on the back line is going to be doing his darndest to make something happen. Going to be trying to go for those distraction plays maybe, but if he can get out of his life, that might be great. He does not indeed. Happy, Cool and Starky do wants to finish him up, and now holding last for Happy Farmers. Might be looking like a pipe dream, but they do have this crit streak, Sideshow.
Yeah, this should really be where nameLess are looking to put a sack in, because both of their scouts were down. It should have been an easy force, but it's a crit streak, and Drac is holding so close. He does a ton of damage to them, but nobody's found him. He's already gone to last, and that's going to draw everybody back, and it's just a fake. He's just setting up on second, and he's going to be able to go in with the rest of his team, but nameLess appears to be baiting him a little bit.
Here we go. The commitment finally being made by nameLess. Captain actually picks up Brago in, and then no demo man for them. Starky actually falling to Bash as well. This is more like it, Bash. Stepping up a little bit to the plate there. Captain falling incredibly weak in that green area. Going to be trying to back all the way out, but at the same time, nameLess looking to play it possibly there. Spud might get caught out here in that saw area. Is getting pressured down quite quickly by Bash. Ultimately going to be backing all the way out. But still holding on for dear life, it seems. Happy Farmers still holding this. And we do see Perm with that Uber. They may look to push off it. I mean, who knows? But this is crit streak coming up once again on the Happy Farmers side.
I think it's likely that they'll be popping into this one, and they do. It's been popped around Cheese area, but the first frag actually is on Stark. And Thune's taking a lot of damage, but is going to survive here. Drac picked up in the backside as well by Shocky, who's on an absolute rampage.
Big bomb! Oh my goodness, right, Perm is on absolute slivers of HP. Relia is going to finish him up. Here we go. This is what they need now. Spud falling incredibly weak. Going to be put down to an absolute sliver of HP and eventually completely destroyed. Exactly what they needed there. I'm loving it from Happy Farmers now, completely turning this round. I was hoping for a quick game. Shocky picks up Happy Cool as well for the quick 1v1. Lovely stuff. And here we go. This is going to be the midpoint. Taken up by Happy Farmer.
A 5k for Shocky on that one. As he came in, got the pick onto Stark, then picked off Drac, I think it was, came in, picked off Captain, then Brago in the fight whilst the chaos was happening, then 1v1's Happy Cool, and sat at the top of the table just purely on that one push there, and really saved it for them with some excellent flank scout play.
Yeah, absolutely, and honestly, I'm so glad that Happy Farmers have still got some life in them. You know, they're building up quite quickly. They're gonna have this crits before they have Uber, and whether or not they can make a play of it is yet to be happen. I'd love to see some big plays happening there. And here we go, pushing into that green area now, and if they can take this correctly, this
With
could be
the crits.
absolutely crucial
Here it comes.
indeed. Here we go, Brago, gonna be, look at this passive positioning already though. Actually, Spud picks up Relia as well, and here we go, Crit's gonna be popped out. Can they get anything at all? They might pick up Spud on the backline. Strack gonna be trying to escape with his life. Actually, Brago picks up the 2k, but here comes the Uber, being popped out. Brago actually does Crater in the end. Hafigal gonna be picking him up. Second point successfully defended by nameLess, but, you know, Happy Farmers, they're getting the players up and they could potentially look to repush this as they do have a crits advantage once again.
Yeah, this time they got Shocky just feeding in there a little bit when they needed him to stay alive for that push. Stark's on Sniper as well because they know that you can't block a Sniper with a crit streak. Relio's attempted to block this, and this is a bit of a ballsy play here coming out of Happy Farmers.
Oh, look at that,
they're just pushing them back.
So deep! Actually gets off one rock onto Happy. Can they do anything else? Relia's going to be trying to make something happen. Captain picks up Damn Easy as well. And nameLess, they're getting bullied out of this. They may look to repush this if they wanted to punish them, but Happy Farmers looking to just really just take them by storm. Unbelievable stuff. Still no crit streak up just yet. They are on 70% against a slight, tiny advantage. There's only about 15%, but it made just enough, just what they needed to make a play. Because look how close that nameLess are holding here. I mean, Perm is on that log area, but this is ripe for the picking. If they can make a play happen now as they're pushing. Oh, Fun drops the Starkey. Oh my god, what a headshot by that man. And that's going to be prompting the push now by nameLess as they're pushing all the way deep. They need to actually keep Perm a little bit safe there. Bash going to be going on Stark, of all people. Finally going down to a nice little pill by Spud, and that's 2 frag. No heals on the side of Happy Farmers.
Just the tiniest little gap there over the top of the log train, and Thune's head was spotted. Stark's not going to need another opportunity. But Damizi's just hiding above, and Stark's just on him again. 3 passive flank players, and Damizi's not going to get anything out of that. Shocky has just run in there and taken down Spud, though. Permzilla drops his Demo Man rather than use the Uber charge. Correct decision in that situation. They want to keep their Uber just to roll all the way through to second. And this one's going to be a free second point as well by the looks of it, unless they can get some kind of force here from Relio, perhaps. And they have switched off from Kritzkrieg, Happy Farmers, onto the normal Medigun.
Really, very unfortunate by him. He bombed in just at the wrong time. They're going to be paying with his life in the end. Captain, very forward aggression by him. Going to be trying to create some room to breathe for nameLess as they're pushing all the way in. They still have this Uber to work with, and it's actually Medigun being ran by Fun as well. So they are going to have potentially Uber to hold last with. They do have a 10% advantage on nameLess, but they're not playing this at all. Is this a pause? This is a pause.
It is a pause.
Yeah. But yeah. Happy Farmer's going to be holding with that Uber on last. They are going to get it in time. However, we do see Stark on that sniper roll. See if he can make any plays happen. It will be interesting to see.
And this game has already been mobbed back and forth than the entirety of Badlands, really.
Yeah.
Because I think the fact that the scouts appear to be stepping up now and hitting their shots, as well as Brago on the Kritzkrieg, is really opening things up for them. And they're taking advantage of the fact that nameLess seem very cautious in a lot of these situations. They like to back out a lot earlier, even if it looks like they have an advantage in a fight. If they have a risk of things going badly, they'll prefer to take the safer option most of the time. And Happy Farmers are abusing that in quite a few situations just by just manning up and trying to contest the points. It'll go badly for them eventually when nameLess decide to fight one of those contestations and just wipe them instead. But for now, they're getting quite a lot of value out of that.
And here we are. Yeah, unpause has happened. Starkey going to be slowly but surely peeking that corner, and he actually picks up Bash. Incredible man, as he picked up a headshot as well onto Relia. Jesus Lord, what is this man made of? They're going to be trying to sticky spam him now, bringing down Relia. If they can get him, that's going to be a lovely kill, but he does get arrowed up, and here we go. Big jump in by Relia. Can he get the force on Perm? Picks up 1 rocket. Ultimately not going to be enough. Oh, what a pipe! Picks up a lovely shot onto Relia. Completely denied him there. Spud, absolutely massive that man just went. And honestly, nameLess, they haven't dropped any players, impressively enough. But they could still look to play this now with Stark still on sniper in that lower area.
They're just rotating him to see whether he can get anything done. They're gonna try and open the shutter door and see if they can get an angle onto Thune, but Thune's all the way behind this red crate. Yeah. He's not gonna be peeking anything around here. Stark's gonna be peeking up the drop down though, and he's gonna find Damn Easy. He loves doing that. Stark, but his head gets taken.
Honestly, the balls on a man to go for those kind of plays is unreal, and still nameLess holding fast in that lobby area. Still 0-0. We are about 9 minutes into this game already. 21 minutes 40 seconds remain on the clock. And honestly, it looks like it could go either way. This is where the pause happened. Don't know what happened there. Look at Starkey as well. This is worth mentioning. Starkey on Spy now. Gonna be trying to break up this monotony. And Shocky on Spy as well.
Oh, the double Spy.
He spotted him. He spotted him.
Yeah, Shocky has all of that intel. Oh no, he thinks he's a sniper. He's already disguised as a friendly sniper.
It's a friendly sniper. The Jukes.
So Shocky's coming in behind now though, and he's going for the straight button frag. And Shocky actually took him down. Shocky took him down with the revolver just before he got killed by Captain. So the spy on spy action. This is crazy. What is going on? They're just sacking a player each to go spy and trade with each other.
Actually picked up Happy Cool there, and look at this now. Happy Farmers, they have to play off this now, surely. They're pushing in slowly but surely. They cannot make a misplay here. One misplay could potentially cost them. And here comes the Uber. They want to make it a straight exchange. Can they get the ball? Perm in the air. Just misses the air shot. Perm. Beautiful serves by him. Just manages to evade out of the way of that rocket jump. That rocket, I should say. Spud picks up Fun as well in the end. So that's no medic on the side of Happy Farmers. And now if nameLess, if they play this slowly but surely, you know, they're happy to just push in with Uber advantage here.
Yeah, I think they're just going to push without it as well, just with the heal advantage, but nobody's seen Relio, and Relio's going to try and get in. He misses, he goes for the air shot though, instead of just trying to pound damage into the people who are coming through the choke point. And now the entirety of nameLess is going to flood in through the left-hand side. See what picks they can get. What a play from their flank there. Captain coming along and just building off the damage that Spud had done.
Oh, yeah.
And they just pushed that one in with the heal advantage that they had. Very nice stuff. Relio had an opportunity to stuff it a little bit, but just whiffed it.
Yeah, Fun going down there. That push out, I wasn't too keen on it, but nameLess are definitely the kind of players to capitalise off those types of mistakes. But here we are. This is of course only 1-0 to the side of nameLess. We are 90 minutes 45 seconds into this game. Map number 2, the second mid fight about to kick off. We're going to see which side gets advantage of who, and Happy Farmers were looking strong in that last mid fight. Let's see if they can take it again. Here we go. Early damage coming out by Braga. Gets off one stick to start. Could be crucial in delaying the inevitable big bump forward by Relia. Can he get anything? Gets off one rocket, two rocket. Picks up Perm in the end. Beautiful place. Is exactly what they needed. And now if they play off this correctly, they've already dropped so many people. Relia and Damn Easy have fallen. Braga might actually drop as well. He's on a sliver of HP. He is going to get healed up, but still, Bash actually picks up Captain as well. A lovely mid-fight being fought by the Happy Farmers guy. On the back lines, Happy and Shah. Oh my goodness. Braga picks him Starkey up with a pill in the end, and Bash finally finishing up another man on the back lines. And here we go, he's picking us up Spud as well. Bash has actually turned up so much on this map. He was having a bad game on Badlands, but it's almost a complete 180.
On the other side of that, Hafikul went to make a play on mid and tried to take the 1v1 against Brago, and Shocky was really late to help Brago, but Brago was just juking around the mid, just trying to use that wall to the best of his abilities, and eventually just managed to bait Hafikul in, and Shocky 2v1'd him. So they managed to get that pick on the Pocket Scout nameLess, and now it's fairly equal. Uber's Perm does have a slight Uber advantage.
Perm goes down to a bite from Brago. Oh my god, this man! He's insane! He picks up Spud as well! What is he made of?
They should be able to push this one forwards. If they just go on the left-hand side, this one should be a fairly free round. But Stark's on Sniper. He's going to try and put a spanner in the works. But Damn Easy comes in and destroys him and Drac. And that's a round on the board. That's the first round on the board here for Happy Farmers. And it's a crucial one because it means that they have completely stopped the momentum of nameLess and tied it up 1-1.
Honestly, I'm so happy that this is a closer game than we saw in Badlands. Honestly, absolutely incredible stuff. Happy Farmers finally take a round off of nameLess. This is the first round they've taken off them out of both of these games, and here we go. This is mid-fight number 3 about to kick off. We're going to see if actually a beautiful sticky coming out by Brago. Going to be getting spud down to half HP. Crucial aggression already. Double soldier bomb coming out. But he's going to try and make something happen. Gets completely shut down this time by nameLess. Damn Easy on the back line is going to be trying to make something happen, and this could be absolutely brilliant for nameLess if they play correctly. But they already dropped Happy Cool and Spud. Damn Easy on the back lines gets off a little bit of damage on the start, but ultimately is going to get out Shocky as well. Captain and Perm. Perm is actually caught out of position on 10 HP. Finally, Shocky picks him up. Bash picks up the frag onto Drac as well.
This is
looking like... Oh my god, Starkey picks up Brago. Captain actually picked up Fun as well, so that's no medic on either side. Wonderful plays by them. Starkey's still alive on the back lines as well.
And he's so dangerous because he just knows how to pick off all of these single 1v1s. He's found yet another one, but it's going to be Shocky who wins that one. And Happy calls in, takes out Bash. They're surely going to find the frag on Hafikul, though. He's incredibly weak and miles away from the heals.
Movement of this guy.
He's doing such a good job just to put the damage down and evade them. But it's not going to be enough for nameLess to recontest, so they just went in there, tried to help out Stark, and got the best that they could do out of that situation. Uber's equal as well, so now it's going to stabilize with Happy Farmers in control of mid and Stark respawned on Sniper. So Stark's going to be trying to work a pick for them to get back into this one, try and retake control of the mid point. But Stark and Drac on that, Stark and Captain, sorry, at the end of that mid fight should have been cleaned up by Happy Farmers, but just perfectly synergized between the two of them, well coordinated. Captain going in, how he manages to get Thune there on his own, a miracle, and then Stark comes in for the flank onto Brago as well and causes havoc.
Stark picks up that headshot onto Brago. Here we go. It's actually crit screen coming out by the Happy Farmers guy. Perm drops to 27 health before popping. Absolute incredible stuff, milking that over for as long as he did. But they've got the positioning now, and if they spam them out correctly, they could potentially still retake this. Stark is still a threat on that sniper area in main. Going to be watching it like a hawk. Splash actually might get caught out. Indeed, he does. Stark, he just bashes him to death. Really going to be picking up Drac as a 1-for-1 trade on both sides. Can they make anything happen? Actually picking up Shocky as well. The positioning for Happy Farmers now is not great at all. They need to back out if they want to salvage anything from this Sideshow.
They do have that crit streak though, and they have the crits advantage. Brago's going to be pushing forward before they even have it. It's still a few seconds away, 3 or so seconds away.
Brago!
Thune's not connected as well, but Brago's hitting everything! He's just hitting everything. He just walks forward and just wins the push for them. Doesn't even need the crit streak, and Thune now miles away from them. They kind of want to be forwards though with the crits if they can get onto Permzilla at all, but Thune's so far away. I don't agree with this at all. Thune's prioritizing getting his own health up when there's only 2 players left rather than going aggressive. Nonetheless, they are going to be able to get into lobby, pop off the crits, and hopefully recycle this with the crit advantage.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely crucial if they can make anything happen here. Drac surfs away to the nick of HP. Going to be coming out with that crit streak right now. If they can pick up any frags, Perm pops it in a nick of time. 2 frags for Captain. He picks up Bash and Relia. Starkey going to be picking up Damazy as well. Brago finally falls to Starkey as well before picking up Spud. But ultimately, a successful defense by the nameless guys. Happy Farmers do get out.
They committed far too hard with that one. All they had to do was go in, use the crits, force the Uber charge, and then reset and remain in control of second at all times. That's how nameLess would play it. They just make sure that whatever play they make into last, unless they're almost guaranteed to cap last, they always make sure they retain control of second, unless it goes disastrously wrong. But that there was a huge overcommittal from Happy Farmers in a crits versus Uber situation. You're relying on Brago to just drop people from the Uber charge in order to win the push, otherwise the push is going to go disastrously. So now, though, they do have that crits advantage.
And we'll soon see if they wish to play off it. Oh my goodness, Bash picks up Spud picks up Bash in the end. Starkey picks up Fun. When the hell did this happen? That's no medic. Was that a drop, or did he pop it in the end?
Either way, it didn't get any value out of it, so it doesn't really matter what happened. They're getting absolutely crushed here. That flank from Stark, I think he came up through the choke point, came around, wrapped around them while they were in the saw, and just 2-shot Thune. Down he goes.
Shocky, the only man alive behind enemy lines, going to be taking that 1v1 against Stark. He's on a little bit weaker health. He was winning that, but eventually, Hafikul finishes him up with the help of Starkey. Starkey picking up that kill, and this is nameless now. Going to be capping up that midpoint. It is still 1-all to either side. This could honestly go either way, and they're building as fast as they possibly can build. They are on Medigun now, Happy Farmers. However, they are working against the tide now as nameless, pushing in with that 100% Uber through that green area. Sideshow.
This is a very difficult situation for Happy Farmers to get anything done. They do have a sniper, so they're just going to try and push Damazy into a position where he might be able to snipe. Interesting, they've still got the pocket on Sniper, which is a very strange decision, and he's going to have to... He's so far forward for this position because the Uber's already come out of lower.
No, not good at all. Uber going to be popped out by both these teams. If they can keep them alive, actually picking up Spud there in the end. And nameless, they're the kind of team that if they lose that one player and they can tell it's going pear-shaped, they're just going to back all the way out. And indeed, they have. They're already all on second, exiting straight away out of that last point. So they knew it was going south, and they just completely, honestly, the chemistry of this team and the way they play. It's quite fun to watch in its own way, but Damazy, the big one forward, trying to get that damage onto Captain, is going to get arrowed up in the end, but is he going to fall? Indeed, he's not! Hafikul actually gets up a frag onto Bash there, and this could still go either way. Starkey behind enemy lines, Hafikul doing his darndest to keep them off. Actually, Starkey and Hafikul picking up frags. Relia and Shocky going to be falling there. Big one forward by Damazy. What the hell is going on? That was the back cap. I completely missed it.
Stark came in from the left-hand side, and he just gets all the way to last there, and manages to get the back cab done as well.
How?
Well, he managed to kill Relia on last, basically. He was able to pick up Shocky in the fight, and then managed to get behind, take down Relia, who was there. I mean, he just, one-man army, just slammed through the flank.
I feel so let down that I was like, that fight was getting so hype, but here we are, mid-fight. Number 4, I believe this is already. Looking at this now, with so much aggression coming out by Damizu, the forward bomb onto that upper area. Going to be trying to get something done. Can he do anything at all is yet to be seen, but Captain's fallen extremely low. Drac has actually jumped behind in that kitchen area. Everyone on the side of nameless in double digits health. Their heals are not great at all, and they should back off from this. But look at Drac on the back lines. Is he going to be able to get this pick? Gets a 1-ruck onto Fun, and they can potentially replay off this potential. Or, no, the position is definitely not there. What am I saying? But still, honestly, a really well played mid-fight there by Happy Farmers. They got so much damage onto nameless there.
And the very late spawns on Drac and Hafcom mean that they might be able to go for some kind of forcing play, but Spud picks up 2 of them! I have no idea where that sticky trap was. I assume it was somewhere around the health kit on Choke, but that has opened the door for Stark to come in as well, and they're just dropping people like flies. Thune's had to pop as well, and he's just flashing it onto all of these players. Disastrous. And Stark's already in behind. He's taken the opportunity to go miles deep. Unfortunately, does die, but has paved the way there, along with the Spud sticky trap, which was the real catalyst for the nameless roster to swarm all the way through mid.
Absolutely. Now, Relia, I should say, going to be backing out. They do not have Uber advantage to work off. Nameless are going to be pushing all the way in. Shocky hiding around that corner. This could be crucial if he can get a frag onto Perm. Here he goes. Oh, completely shuts him down straight away. Spud the one going to be picking up that frag. Brago in a sliver of HP actually. No health at all. Uber going to be finally coming out by Permzilla there. And he's well, Brago's going to try and escape with his life, but he doesn't in the end. And this is a complete disastrous hold by Happy Farmers. They've dropped so many players. 5 down. Fun, one of the only survivors, and he doesn't even have Uber to hold this last, so if he is going to have an advantage, but they're just going to roll deep. They've got the player advantage, and here we go, Captain, trying to make this play onto last. All this cap time already, it's just Shocky up, and they cannot do anything about it. 3-1 makes the score, Sideshow.
They're able to get so much value out of all of their Uber charges. Every time an aggressive Uber comes in from Nameless, they're able to catch 2, 3 people, 4 people in that last push with their aggressive Uber charge. They send one person into sack, but it's like the rest of Happy Farmers just don't have faith in that single person and stay in and spam and try and make their own plays just to make sure that Permzilla pops. Just leads to far too many casualties. 3-1, and this is starting to become a real deficit here. And Drax already in on the flank. Yep. Nobody's even seen him go kitchen. Oh, now they have. Bash has just spotted him out, and they're going to take that opportunity to swarm forwards. Brago's taking tons of damage though and going to get chipped back. Bash has already fallen as well, so this is their opportunity to leave the mid-fight.
Indeed they will, yeah, backing all the way out of that. They do manage to get Fun out alive. Captain is going to be bombing forward, going to be trying to get some information for his team, potentially try and pick up any stragglers, but Happy Farmers are too smart for that, as we do see Nameless now slowly but surely just piling into that second point, and they're going to be potentially, or most likely, going to be seeing where they can go from this. No off classes just yet, apart from Shocky on Sniper, but we'll see if he can make any plays happen. And looking at this, slowly creeping. Oh, close. Permzilla.
Stark's just run in. Stark has just run in from drop down and gets a huge me shot at the end there onto Thune. Thune on 26 health, but again, they don't really have anybody else. They're not committing anybody else to even spam in these situations. They're just sending Stark in because they know that they can completely retain control of second. Stark's going to come back up on whatever. Spy, Sniper, Scout, whatever they need him to. And on the off chance he does manage to get the force on the drop, it's just a 1 round for them.
Here we go, we're going to be popped out. Permzilla milking it to absolute professionalism. He hasn't even popped it at all. He has complete faith in his team. They've already picked up Damn Easy as well. And now they're just going to wait for these heals, wait for these buffs, and this should be, honestly, a very hard defense for Happy Farmers to make happen. Permzilla is going to be holding in that low area, going to be getting spammed out a little bit by the Happy Farmer guys. Brago doing his darndest to keep them out, but he may actually pay with his life, as he's only on 44 HP. He is going to get out there, I believe. And indeed he is. Here comes the Uber. Going to be popped now, going to be trying to get those frags. Bash falling to absolutely no health at all. Happy Cool going to be finishing him up. Vaccinator on the side of the Happy Farmers. Can they make anything happen? 2 frags already on the side of Nameless, but really a heal disadvantage as well. Everyone's half health. Big bomb forward by both soldiers. Brago also going in, trying to get that damage. Captain on this last point, still, he's going to fall as well to Damn Easy. And yeah, they're going to pick up Permzilla as well. Damn Easy picking up a free KO of that last defense. impressive stuff. And Happy Cool, is he? No, he's not going to get out. Yeah, he's going to go down to Bray. Yeah, but really nicely defended actually by Happy Farmers there.
Yeah, they got the better end of that one. Stark still stays alive, so a few times Stark will stay alive and it'll actually hurt them because they end up being stuck on a sniper. He has gone down now though, so that gives them the option to switch back to a more versatile scout if they require him to, although he might stay up on sniper anyway. But with Shocky falling there, this push is going to be so difficult. This is a dry push that they're just attempting to take through kitchen, and this could be disastrous here for Happy Farmers, just continuing to shove this one forwards, getting people picked off left, right and centre. Bash falls as well. They will find the return frag on Captain, surely. Captain going to survive this one?
He's going to get that pack, and this could potentially be disastrous. Big bomb forward, he is going to get denied in the end, but look at Happy Cool, so deep in, he's actually going to potentially pick up this frag, and indeed he does. The bomb is there by Drac, and this is so much damage. Only 2 respawners just coming up for them now. And Permzilla holding on to this hefty Uber advantage. 50%, they might not even wait for it, and indeed they're not. They're just going to dry push it with this player advantage. They know they don't have Brago, they know they don't have a medic, they're not playing the point at all. And that's just going to be a catch straight away. nameLess playing it like absolute professionals. 4-1 makes the scoreline.
And you can see there that it's only one mistake and it cost them the round, but the mistake was dire and it was very blatant. They were pushing through a choke point that they knew that nameLess knew that they were trying to come through, and they were just pushing through kitchen with about a 20% advantage and only 50% Uber. And you could tell it was going to go wrong right from the beginning there, and nameLess managed to turn it into a round.
And here we go. This is the mid-fight. It's 5 minutes 20 seconds on the clock. I think technically it's still possible to get 3 rounds in this time, but it's going to be extremely difficult for Happy Farmers, and they need to make some plays happen, and they need to make it fast. Drac behind enemy line is going to be trying to make something happen. Actually, Happy Cool picks up Relia there as he went for the big bomb forward. Damn easy picks up Starkey as well, but this is looking absolutely critical now for the side of Happy Farmers. They've already dropped 3 players. They're not having a good time at all. Happy Cool picks up the 3k on this mid-fight. Damn easy behind enemy lines, make it a 4k as he's just cleaning kids up for days, peppering them across the map and just really securing these kills for his team.
Working the janitor role, but Thune did manage to get out, and he's met up with somebody now, and that means that they have that Uber charge. But with 4.5 minutes left, they have to come back from a 3-round deficit here. That one's going to be incredibly difficult. They might well have a push here, though, that they'll get the better end of on the defense, because that Uber charge has been popped incredibly quickly, and I don't think they realize that Thune has the Uber. A lot of these players could potentially get caught. What a serve from Spud. He's just going to curl around in midair, look like he's going out right side and bail out, and it's actually Happy Farmers who lose the first casualty. So what an escape there from nameLess.
How does that happen?
And Spud's obliterating people as they come forwards. This might be cue for the repush as well, Bren.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 minutes remain now. Happy Farmers going to be feeling the pressure, and here come nameLess, pressuring all the way deep. Captain going to be getting that height advantage for his team, spamming them out, getting some space. Happy Cool's got all already. Look at his cap time, but here comes the counter aggression, collapsing onto them. Stark on the back lines. Can they make anything happen? Drac as well. Can they get these frags? They've actually destroyed nameLess, completely collapsed onto them as they try to push out that right side. And this could be exactly what they wanted. They need to play this so fast though if they want this. 3 minutes 38 seconds remain. They need to do a rapid takeover.
They have to win every single one of these rounds as quickly as humanly possible. So Happy Farmers now, although we were slating them for taking kind of equal Ubers or off Uber trades, this is exactly what they have to be doing now because they need to start rolling things forward. Thune unfortunately drops Shocky as well. So this is going to be a disaster. Popped early, Aurelio's gone down, and this is curtains if they lose this push here. Curtains for the entire map and any chance of points from the fixture. And they're just attempting to stabilize on second. They've got really no hope of getting this one done though. Captain's powering forward. Bash is going to get picked off as well. Start
Captain, stop! Destroying them. Yeah, Happy Farmers. I think they realise it's over. Yeah, absolutely. Just completely just destroying them.
And that's it. That is the game at this point. It's just a matter of whether nameLess can add another ribbon
Shocky
to...
on back burner pyro. Gonna be Spud actually picks up Shocky there as well as Relia. The fight's still kicking off onto last, but at this point we're really just playing for the logs, and yeah, it's a complete wipe on the side of Happy Farmers. That's going to make the scoreline 5-1, and that's it. Dead time we are running into. Honestly, I'm a bit disappointed with Happy Farmers' performance, to be honest.
Yeah, there were a lot of situations where they made some key crucial errors, perhaps in... Well, really, yeah, it was in the main calling. It wasn't individual errors or how they were really syncing up in order to make the pushes. It just seemed to be that the plays that they were going for were inadvisable in quite a few of those situations. There they certainly made it more of a game, especially in the first half. We saw a very long first round, and they were able to tie it up to 1-1 and really keep it fairly competitive for the majority of the game, but they just let it slip towards the end there.
I just got the urge to cast that mid-fight while you were talking because they just completely crushed them. But yeah, that's going to be... nameLess actually going to be winning that last mid-fight. A bit of a futile effort there by Happy Farmers, as it is only 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock. And yeah, as you were mentioning, you mentioned on Badlands how it was a bit of an underperformance by the Happy Farmers. And I completely agree with it. There's no disagreeing with that at all.
I'd say on this map, Bren, it wasn't so much an underperformance from everybody on Happy Farmers, but there were just some key errors,
mistakes.
Key mistakes, key decision-making errors, and some plays that were inadvisable. Individual plays, especially when they're trying to force the Uber charges out. If they're just trying to force with spam or just trying to sack a single player in, you really can't afford for the nameless Uber to be able to pick up 2, 3, sometimes 4 of your players and have only Thune scuttling out alive. That's just that's a ridiculous defense. You shouldn't have to commit that many players forward in order to just pop an Uber out. So they've certainly got some things to work on. The positive for them is that they've got a lot of time to work on it, and assuming they manage to get enough points from the rest of these lower level teams, they'll have the playoffs to work on that as well.
They might actually just go for the mercy rule here. There is about 30 seconds remaining on the clock. 26 seconds remain. Relly with a big bump forward. Crit Scree coming out on a direct hit. Can they get anything? Oh, drop! Picks up the 3k at the end on the end, and I think... is that going to be the mercy rule? It's just Shocky left. Tries to get the taunt kill. Damn easy with a Demo Knight onto last. But yeah, that is going to be the mercy rule. With 10 seconds remaining, 6-1 is the scoreline. And GG is called in the chat. And honestly, I feel like I've got casting blue balls from that. I want another game.
Yeah, slightly disappointing. I'm taking a look at the logs at the moment, though, and it's just... I think perhaps the switch in Soldiers was inadvisable as well. While it isn't the only issue, and certainly it's the easiest thing to point at, as I said before, and there are deeper set problems, but Relior's just not having an impact here on Roma, just getting absolutely eaten alive by Hafikul and Stark, it seems. Hafikul goes 29 for 9, and Stark goes 23 for 15, and Relior only manages to pick up 7 frags over the course of the game, 7 for 20, with 161 DPM as well. It's not even like he's doing a lot of damage or making sure that the enemy team has a lot of space and he's pumping damage into them with his bombs. He's really just getting nothing done. Sub 200 DPM for a Roma is very poor in a map that essentially lasted the full 30 minutes as well. And Bash, once again, just unable to make anything happen. There's been a few key underperformances from Bash, and he really has to step up and find that previous level that he used to play at many moons ago if this team wants to do well, because 13 for 21 with 143 DPM. I mean, it's the DPM that's always consistently poor for Bash as well, and it's not like he's picking up on these frags and just making sure that he's well timed and entering, getting the frags and leaving. He's contributing deaths to his team and a lack of damage.
Hafikul, the absolute janitor that he is with those 29 kills and 230 damage per minute, definitely made a comment on about it mid-game, but yeah, what you mentioned about Bash is completely true, and I think it was still the case even in the season 24 preseason, or was it the? No, it was the. Yeah, it was the preseason, wasn't it? Yeah, that we casted together, where we saw Metaworks and Reckoner being played.
Yeah.
And even then, Bash, even though they did win the game, it wasn't an entirely a 2-man show, if you like, between Shocky and Bash. It was. I mean, it was still Shocky pretty much doing all the work, and I don't know, they need to switch something up, and as you mentioned as well, they've swapped around their roles with the Roma in the pocket, whether or not that's part of the issue, but from what we saw in Snakewater, you made comment to it, it does seem like a main calling issue, where these mistakes are just being capitalised off time and time again, even though that is what nameLess are known for, but honestly...
yeah, I think credit to them that they were able to push the mistakes that Happy Farmers made and turn them into rounds almost every single time. I mean, that is nameLess being good and nameLess capitalizing on the mistakes, but the fact that the mistakes were appearing in the first place, and some of them really quite blatant, and if we hark back to Badlands as well, I mean, some of those mistakes were truly awful, and it seemed like the team didn't have a single vocal caller or very much of a game plan of what they want to do in certain specific situations. They just almost seem to be winging it, and kind of, if they feel like running an off class on one last defense, they will. If they feel like doing a certain strat on mid, then they will. And you really can't do that and expect to be performing at the top level unless every player on your team is an absolute star caliber player. And then I guess you can kind of wing it with experience and skill, but the team just doesn't have that at the moment. One of their star players isn't performing. The other two kind of are, but they don't have the support around them. And I think probably on reflection, it would be better for them to go back to their previous soldier setup as well. It seemed to be working out better for them. Certainly, Relio played a bit more of a support pocket style. Damizi's taking a few more heals and playing slightly further back than the rest of his team, aiming to go for the frags himself. Whereas I feel like this team will be best when they have both of the soldiers just opening up those opportunities for Brago, Bash, and Shocky. Of course, that relies on those star players then performing, but as long as you facilitate that, you really don't have much to argue on from a gameplay point of view.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if the map log side is working. It looks like they are, actually, so we can look at it. I'd imagine the guys at home could look at it as well, but look at that dominant performance all across the board. Net frags in the side of nameLess, as you'd expect as well. But you know what's really interesting as well is even when they were pushed onto last, onto nameless's last point, they still, obviously, from those defenses really coming out on top. Consistent performers on the mid fights, as you can see. Happy Cool on cleanup duty, +7 frags from him. Even on the second point onto the side of Happy Farmer's second point, Happy Cool absolutely putting in work, and only one player on the side of Happy Farmer's showing up, Shocky, with the +5 in the second point.
Yeah, and that's purely because the majority of the fighting actually took place on the Happy Farmer's second point as well. It's not like Shocky's just kind of like a god pushing out from last or something. That's purely because he was having a fairly decent game, and the majority of the time it was happening around that area. But look at this. Look at this ridiculous statistic, right? On nameless's second point, the third highest leading net frag is Permzilla. He got a single frag and didn't die once, and so he's leading in the net frags. And they just at no point were they able to get onto Permzilla as well. And that is a recurring theme with nameless. They keep Permzilla so well protected that instead, when you're actually pushing out with these Uber charges, it can sometimes be better just to take the Uber into the players. Try and trade your Uber for a frag, or bait Permzilla into popping onto his pocket or popping onto his demo man. Often he'll be holding so far back, expecting you to go onto him, that you can get a frag out of it and maybe try and open that up. But the Ubers are baited out so well by nameless that you can't just walk into them and hope that you'll get a better Uber trade. There has to be some kind of game plan going into it.
Yeah, absolutely, and we did see as well, nameless, they play that defensive role so well. Permzilla, some of the plays, even when members of Happy Farmers get behind enemy lines and get a few rockets off onto Perm, he's still got the balls to hold on to it. There were so many times when he was literally holding on to these Ubers for dear life, and he had so much trust in his team. It's quite refreshing to see, actually, that there's no pussy pops going on. But what else can we look at between
no
these?
wasps in his room.
Frag percentage by zone, as you'd expect, across the board, dominant by nameless as well. We can look at the caps and the conversion rates, I believe that shows as well. Yeah, so 67% conversion rate on the side of nameless whenever they take those midpoints. Impressive stuff all around, to be honest.
I mean, an interesting stat here, though, is that Happy Farmers actually have a reasonable conversion rate into nameless's last. They just weren't able to get there at any point. It wasn't like nameless had an incredible last defense, or were able to just kind of like roll it forwards every time. It was just literally that Happy Farmers couldn't get in an aggressive position at any point during the map.
Yeah, absolutely. But really, it just seems like it's the nameless show all over the place here.
It certainly was.
Any other frags? PvP kills. This could be quite interesting. You can see the kill differences between these players. Happy Cool getting 8 kills on Relia, 1 kill on the side of Happy Cool. Kind of understandable. With Happy Cool was getting in some excellent denial onto Relia, actually. Every attempt by Relia on that midpoint was getting completely denied by the scouts. Really on point with their aim there. Happy Cool did a wonderful job. Capped him with 7 frags onto Shocky, compared to Shocky's 2. on the Happy Farmers side, we do see Brago and Shockey putting out some work. Brago actually picking up 6 frags onto Spud. Kill difference of 5 there. Spud only got 1 on him, and Shockey also getting in those frags onto Stark as well. So as you mentioned, those 2 star players, Brago and Shockey, they just need, I don't know, they need to make some changes to unlock this potential that Happy Farmers have, because they're definitely a high potential team. They've got so much to work with. They've got a lot of talent. Bash is a very talented man. He just needs to tap into whatever he left behind all those many moons ago.
Yeah, he's attempted to make a comeback for a few teams, or possibly even Merc at times, and has never really showed the brilliance of kind of when he was at his peak in 2013, but he was certainly good at the beginning of 2014 as well, and back in 2012 and 2011, so it's really just been a fairly recent dip in terms of the overall span of Bash's career. But it's one that he doesn't seem to be getting out of anytime soon, and he really needs to step up out of this if he wants to be able to fulfill that star player role that they need him to in order to get these big performances.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've still got high hopes for Happy Farmers coming into the season, especially against some of these other teams. I'm sure whatever went wrong here, they will most likely work out in time. And it's good to see as well. We did talk about, you're probably going to be tilting after that first map, but it was definitely looking quite close for the majority of the first map, of the second map, I should say, Snakewater. They weren't really showing any signs of tilting at all. Apart from in the second half, right. But yeah.
Yeah, but for the first half of the map, they were able to keep themselves composed. They kept themselves in it. They were playing better in the first half of Snakewater than they were for the rest of the night. So they certainly rallied themselves in between the maps.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have as well kills during Uber on the screen. Obviously, nameLess being a more dominant team are going to have a few more kills, but look at that deaths during Uber as well. They dropped so really that just comes down to basically taking those exchanges and Happy Farmers coming out the worst for it, really, wasn't it? Fun was dropping so many players, actually, looking back to it. There were so many times where he dropped 1 or 2 players just when they were about to Uber in, and it was quite detrimental actually for their team.
Yeah, the Uber situation for Happy Farmers was absolutely dire. I mean, quite a large portion of the blame has to be put on Thune in some of those situations, but that might be because Damizi's just recently switched over to the pocket position as well, so who knows. They certainly looked better before they'd made that switch, but I think there's deeper issues at heart here. What's interesting though is that if we look forwards for them, they're up against Public Lair, Bags of 5, PC Master Race coming up, so they don't really face some of the, apart from Public Lair, they don't really face some of the worst competition until later in the season. So after having, had the crap beaten out of them by nameLess, they've actually got a bit more of a relaxed period now just to try and gather themselves and prepare for the end of the season, because the end of the season is where they absolutely need to be spot on. They have to be able to get these points from these lower level teams during the weeks kind of 2 to 5. But once they start getting the points up, they have to be prepared for the playoffs if they want to get in there and actually make something happen.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, what are we planning on covering any of the other games this week? I'm not too sure.
I'm sure we are.
So we are going to be seeing some more ETF2L gameplay that will be coming up this week anyway. What other games?
I believe there's a game tomorrow. I believe there's also
beautiful.
A game on Thursday and a game on Sunday as well. So there you go. It should be an absolutely jam-packed week now that we've got the season underway.
We could talk a little bit about that if you wanted. It's between Comfortably Spanked and PC Master Race, and that's the game that's going to be kicking off tomorrow. Thoughts on that?
I think this one's going to be very interesting. Comfortably Spanked are by far and away, I think, the worst or the lowest level team that remained in Premiership this season. I think they were lower level than DD plus 5 Abs as well, although that's kind of debatable given the recent roster changes for DD5 Abs. But they've also lost Tiger, who was a big player for them. Tom, trying to fill his shoes, is okay, reasonable player, but not at the level that Tiger was at. Tiger just fit into that spot really well. And they're going to be playing against PC Master Race, who so far have looked like strange dark horses. They just keep coming up with these upset results against teams who are kind of mid-premiership. And so I would not be surprised to see what you would classically consider an upset result here with PC Master Race coming out on top. I expect PC Master Race to probably finish a little bit higher than Comfortably Spanked at the end of this season. So that one will be an interesting one to see how the mid to lower level of Premiership comes and whether PC Master Race can continue improving to the point where they're maybe even contesting playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, even when they played you guys, Perilous Gaming, back in DreamHack, it wasn't a roll by any means, and you guys are the second best second best team in mid anyway for season 23.
In mid.
In mid,
Good
sorry,
God, we've been demoted.
Prem, yeah, sorry.
Perilous are back to mid. Ellie giggle.
But what was my point? What was the point I was making?
They gave
you a hard time. Yeah, PC Master Race are definitely a good team, and it's really bizarre that they've just come out of seemingly nowhere. I mean, they've definitely got some very capable players on their team, but it's just mixed match of players. It's just formulated into the perfect concoction, it seems. But yeah, it's just definitely going to be interesting, 100%.
Well, with that then, I think we'll wait to see how it does play out. Because we've had some interesting games here tonight. nameLess look like they're off on an absolute wild spree through the season. I don't know whether anyone will be able to stop them, perhaps Publicly, perhaps Perilous, maybe PC Master Race, who knows. But we'll see how that plays out. As for Happy Farmers, got some thinking to do, don't they, Bren?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see, but I think we're not planning on doing any interviews, are we? I think I saw Spud in there mumble, but he just went off.
Yeah, they're not interested. These Premiership players, they've got stuff to do, places to see.
Busy guys, yeah. But with that being said, I think we're going to call it a night, guys. Thank you for watching the ETF2L stream tonight. We hope you enjoyed the coverage, even though it was a tad one-sided here and there. But who knows? Tomorrow's game may be absolutely incredible. So definitely check us out again. If you're new to TF2, I do want to mention as well, you can go to certain websites. I think either playcomp.tf or comp.tf. Those are two good resources to check out, and of course there's also teamfortress.tv for any resources. But with that being said, anything to say, Sideshow, sending us off?
No, that's it. So tune in next time on TFTV.